We're doing a slightly different video today, and what we're going to be going over are 4 questions that if you answer these, if you take the time to actually answer these to the best of your ability, they can transform your game. And I mean that if you do this versus not doing this, it'll make a huge difference in your growth as a player, in your career, many different things. So stay tuned to find out what they are. I'm going to walk you through each and every single one of them. That's coming up next.
Hey, you!
Me?
Yes, you. What are you doing?
Oh, I've given up on life. This is where I belong now.
What? That's ridiculous. Do you have any idea how powerful you truly are? You need to join the Simplysoccer Mastermind. Do that and you will change your whole life.
Well, fine, but I'm also a footballer. I'm not joining unless it improves my game as well.
It does that too.
Oh yeah? Prove it.
Check it.
Amazing. But what about my life? Whoa! Thanks, Simplysoccer Mastermind.
Join the Simplysoccer Mastermind to take your game and your life to the next level. Warning, we cannot guarantee this will bring you a beautiful Asian girlfriend. Join today by clicking the link in the description.
Hi guys, welcome to Simplysoccer. My name is Dave if you're new to the channel, and on this channel we release videos every single week to help you improve your game and stand out on the pitch. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button and bell icon so you don't miss any of the videos that we release. Now, like I said, we're doing something a little bit different because although it's more fun to have the training videos, the physical skills and all that stuff, and I love creating those videos for you guys, we also have to look at some other areas that are going to impact our game. And most notably are these 4 questions that I want to give you today. And what I want you to do is follow along with me. I'll even give you moments in the video to pause it if you would like to do this in real time with me so that you can answer these questions. And once you hear what these questions are and you hear my explanation of them and you actually start getting into this practice, you'll realize why it's so important you answer them. And to give you a little hint, a lot of players and a lot of people are really moving throughout life or with their game very directionless. They don't know what they want. They don't know where they're going. They don't have solid plans in place to get them to where they want. And so these questions are what are going to give you what's called clarity. And when you have clarity, when you have awareness, that is the first step you need to have to really improve upon anything or to have forward momentum going in any direction. And so it is essential that you apply these questions to your game and you take the time to answer these questions. Now, you can answer them in the comments in real time if you would like and share your answers with me. And I'll be sure to go down there and interact with a few of you guys and your answers if you have them down there. If you don't put them down there, I can't interact with you. Or if you don't want to share, don't worry about it. Just put it down on a piece of paper for yourself, but at least do this for yourself, okay? But if you would like my feedback, it would be good to put it down in the comments. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to give it to you. So here we go, guys. Let's get right into it. So you can see that the questions are set up in a very common way to set up questions, which is why, what, how, and what if. What if being my favorite one, and you'll understand why when we get to it. And it's very important to understand each and every one of them, but let's just get into the first one because I'm sure you've heard the idea of having a strong why. And it's very important to have a strong why in everything that you do, because if you don't, your brain and your heart and your soul won't be able to buy into what you're doing because it'll keep wondering, why are we even doing this? If you don't give yourself a powerful reason to be doing something, you will either stop doing it, not do what is needed to get better at it or succeed at it, or just kind of give up, or do it in a wishy-washy type of way. But having a strong why that you can revisit time and time again can reinvigorate you in the moment. It can re-energize you and put you back on track towards the direction you want to be going. But again, if you're directionless, you don't have a path that you're forming or taking, you're basically stuck in the middle of the woods having no idea which way to go. And for a lot of players or a lot of people, what they end up doing is just sitting right down and going nowhere when they don't have this clarity. And so the first question is simply very simple, but it can be very profound, and your answer is very important. Why do I play football? There we go. Why do I play football? And guys, this question is more important again than you realize. You may realize how important this question is, but it is essential to know why you play the game in the first place. You know, I get the sense just from players who send me messages and things I see online that a lot of players believe that in order to play football, they have to pursue becoming a pro. And I think a lot of players don't do this necessarily because that's what they want. They do it because they're looking for some kind of significance or validation or to get love in that kind of way, instead of wanting to do that for the love of the game in a sense. And look, guys, the reason you play football can be a number of different things. It could be as simple as you just love football and it's your passion and you just, you can't imagine your life without football. Every time you play football, you just feel happy. Every time you step on that pitch, you feel like it is your dojo. It is your home. You feel at home on that pitch. I can tell you, when I was younger and I was a kid, that was especially true. The football pitch was like my second home. I just felt right when I played football, when I stepped onto the pitch. It was a way for me also to get into flow, to be instinctual, to not have to think about anything and just involve myself in a skill I was really good at. And that's why I played football. I loved it. I had passion for it. But guess what? You don't have to have the same answer. There is no right or wrong answer to any of these. So some of you might be like, well, I better put I have passion for it because that's a good thing, right? I've got to have passion and I love it. But maybe you just like it. Maybe it's just something that's a little bit interesting to you and you want to try it out. There's no wrong answer here, but the answer you give here is going to determine a lot of your other answers. And it's going to determine the actions that you take. For example, if you're so passionate about football that a pro career is something you actually want to pursue, well, that's something you need to be aware of, versus you might be someone who's like, you know what? I don't really want to pursue a professional career. I just want to play with my mates. I just want to play for fun. And again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's no more better to pursue a professional contract than it is to go and have a kickabout with your mates. Sure, one is more difficult to do, but that doesn't necessarily make it better or worse for you. What's better or worse for you is to pursue the thing you actually want, not the thing other people tell you you want. So find out, why do I play football? Spend 5, 10, 20 minutes really digging deep into yourself to figure out why you play football. And again, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm not judging you. No one's judging you. And if they are, who cares? Those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. That's a really good thing to keep in mind. You don't do this to appear a certain way to other people. You're doing this to really get to the root of why you're doing something. And that way you can actually create a strategy. You can actually have some awareness to what you want to do moving forward. Again, because if you decide, yeah, I actually want to be a pro, like I want to just test myself and see how far I can take this thing I love, well, your path is going to be a lot different than someone who admits to themselves, you know what, I love it. I love playing, but I don't really love putting in the work that would be necessary to be a pro. I don't want to put my body through that. And that's a very legitimate answer as well. So you really need to understand why you're playing football. Is it just because you have so much fun when you're playing with your mates and it's just you enjoy it when that happens? Or is it like, no, you just have a burning passion, fire in your heart to test yourself at the highest level you possibly can play at? But you need to know, where it is. And there's so many other things in between, guys. So answer what that is and don't just think of the first answer that comes up, because usually that's your ego going like, yeah, it's because I want to be a pro and it's passion and all that kind of stuff. And if it is, great. But actually take a moment to think about this and really see what comes up for you. And again, you can share this all in the comments. Anyway, that's the first one. Let's get into the next one, which is, what do I have to do? So there we have it, guys. What do I have to do? So now you understand why you're doing the thing, right? And that's incredibly important. So now that you know why you're doing it, so let's say you do, for example, want to move on and play in the professional game. Well, then you have to go, what is it I have to do then to achieve that? What do I actually need to implement to get there? Because now that you have the awareness, now that you know why you want to do something, now we can start to move forward with what we're going to do. Because again, the what would change based on your why. So again, you have your why, boom, then you go, what do I have to do? And again, just brainstorm about this and you'll be able to whittle this down and choose a specific answer once you have more in front of you. But again, just see what comes up for you. Take a few moments, and more than a few moments actually, take 10, 20 minutes, even 30 minutes, as long as you feel you need to really hook in and figure out what do I need to do, for example, or what do I have to do. For example, like, are you gonna have to do a lot of research on specific things you need to do for your training? Would it be good to do research, for example, on current professional players and seeing what they're doing, for example? So that's just what you're gonna come up with, and then you'll have a list of things that you can then put into action right away or over time. Okay guys, third question is, how am I going to do that? And it's very similar to the second one, but I'll explain it. Let me just write it down here. So there we go. How am I going to do that? So this is going to be even more strategic. So it's like, okay, what do I have to do? Now, how am I going to actually go about doing that? So let's say, again, I know why I play, and I know what I have to do. How am I going to actually put that in practice? Are there specific methods I can find that are going to allow me to start achieving more of this stuff, right? So I know what I need to do. Okay, I need to improve this area. Maybe my fundamentals aren't that good. Maybe my strength and conditioning is not that good. I've looked up what it requires physically to be a pro, or physically to be a semi-professional, or whatever it is, right? Whatever that next level for you would be in trying to challenge yourself and trying to continually move up the levels. You now know what you have to do. Now we're going to have to go about how are we going to do that? Would buying a certain training plan, for example, a strength and conditioning plan, be the way to go? That would be one way. Would just, first looking up some stuff on YouTube, getting some more information about it, and trying to find the right information that's going to help you along that path, right? So now that you know what it is you have to do, we have to start creating some action plans. We need to start creating how you're going to do it, getting very specific on, I'm going to do this, this, and that. Testing things out, experimenting, seeing what other people are doing who are going after the same thing as you or who have already achieved it, okay? So again, brainstorm about how you're going to do it. Now, this one will require more research, so you can just come up with a few answers for 5 to 10 minutes, and then this is something you're gonna go off on your own time and do some research on. So again, what do I have to do? Let's say you understand that something that's holding you back is your fitness. Okay, I know what I have to do. I need to really work on my fitness. I need to make it football specific. So let me go and look online how I do that. You can look at articles, videos. There's so many products from people who are really good at this area and have trained professional players, all that kind of stuff to get fit, to build strength, to do all that stuff, the conditioning. So you'll go, okay, that's how I'm going to do it. And now you start having an action plan. And it's also important, guys, once you start getting to this stage, this third step, you start putting into action. Once you've written all this out, it's not something to just rot away in your desk somewhere or collect dust. This is something you put into action. You're just giving yourself more awareness, right? So you have the how am I going to do it, have the action plans, come back to this a lot, guys, by the way. Like, I want you to be looking at the why do I play football answer that you give a lot, because that's what's gonna reinvigorate you, re-energize you to keep going when things get tough. When you can connect to whatever you've written here and you can get emotional about it and you can connect energetically to it, that's when you know you have a powerful why. That's what a powerful why is. It's something that you can just look at and go, oh, that's right. That's why I'm doing this. I remember. And you just become energized through that. Again, you can continually remind yourself what you need to do. And this can change, guys, because you might do one thing. Let's say you get your fitness and whatever it is up to the standard you need. Then you just keep asking that question. Okay, what do I need to do now? What's next? And then you would, again, find the actual strategy you're going to use. How am I going to do that? What strategy am I going to put in place? So guys, this last one is probably the most fun because, again, this is going to energize you. This is going to get your imagination working. This is really going to make this process a lot of fun. And so this one you can spend a lot of time on. In fact, I would think about this one quite a bit. And so this one is, what if I did it? Or what if this actually happened? So what we're going to put down here is what if I achieved whatever it was up here. So blank by blank. So professional, or I got to the next level, or I made it to the semi-pro level, whatever it is for you, right? So let me write that down. What if I were to achieve whatever your why is, whatever the thing you're aiming for is. And what this is a thought experiment to get you motivated and inspired to put in the work you're gonna need to do. So not only are you gonna be inspired to actually put in the work, you're gonna find out what it is you need to work on that's gonna have the biggest impact on getting you there. You're also gonna be looking up how you're actually going to do that. And so with this one, you're essentially using visualization. You're using imagery to get yourself excited about the end goal that you're going going for. And guys, if you get to that level, you get to what your why is. It can change, by the way, although I would recommend having it as a pretty big one that's all encompassing, that can really fuel you no matter what level you're at. But once you have that, what if I were to achieve blank, whatever you put up here, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, really hook into the feeling of that. Really imagine, what if I were to achieve, getting to the semi-professional level? What if I were to achieve attending that college I've always wanted to attend and getting a scholarship? Maybe that's your goal. What if I were to achieve just being able to play football every single day and enjoy it? Maybe you want to play more casually, but you're like, I want to add more of those days into my life. What if I were to be able to play multiple times a week with people that I love and just have fun playing this game I love? What would that look like? And really start to hook into that and visualize what that would look like for you. And I'm telling you, this one is going to get you so excited about actually doing the things you need to do to get where you want to get to. Okay? And so there is another one you can do here. And it's more the opposite side, because some people get more motivated by thinking of the consequences than the upside. So you can do, what if I were to not achieve it? And think about like, I wouldn't be as happy. I wouldn't, whatever it is. So you can do it in that direction. I personally like to go in the more positive direction. But if you think that direction is going to work a little better for you, absolutely go for it. We're all different. We all operate in different ways, and we're all motivated by different things. So guys, that is essentially how you're going to really create the blueprint, a little mini blueprint to transform your game. Now, as you probably have already guessed, this can do more than just transform your game. You can use this for your everyday life. This is something that I've learned from multiple mentors and courses I've been in, to not just improve one area, but to improve multiple different areas. One teacher that I have, he does this on every single module he teaches at the beginning to give us a framework to work with, to get us excited about it, and to also kind of get us to focus and hook into what we're doing, so we're not distracted. So we're like, okay, why, what, how, and what if? Very simple 4 questions, but can be very powerful, guys, if you take the time. And one other thing to keep in mind, guys, is when you write this down, have it somewhere where you're going to see it, because you're going to want to connect to that why very often. You're going to want to connect to what you need to be doing until you've completed that and need to, update this. Again, the how, you need to continually be saturating your brain with how you're going to do it so that you can continually take that action. And the what if, if you daydream about that what if a lot, guys, you'll be amazed at what can happen. So guys, that is how to transform your game. Again, a much different video, but this side of your game is also very important. This strategic side, this being able to create a plan, being able to get yourself excited. A lot of players end up not getting to where they want to get to because they lack inspiration, because they don't have clarity, because they don't answer the questions that they need to answer to form the proper routines, to have the impact on their game, to do whatever. And if you can really hook into these questions and really be proactive in doing this, I can promise you're going to see improvements in your game relatively soon, and especially over time. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you for tuning in. I know that's a lot different. If you want to leave your answers in the comments down below, please do so. I will be down there giving you some feedback. But if you want to keep this more private and just to yourself, that's absolutely fine as well. There's no, again, right or wrong way in that regard. It's just whatever your personal preference is. And sometimes it's good also if you are open to sharing it for other players to see your example, to help them, to inspire them. So if that's something you want to do, keep this community helping each other out, you can do that as well. But again, either way, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. As always, I will make sure there are 2 other videos that come up on screen that you can check out to keep improving your game, to keep working on standing out on the pitch. Check out the Simplysoccer Mastermind down below if you haven't already. You're going to learn so much more stuff just like this in there, and I will see you in the next video.